I'm 67 years old. For 35 years, I ran into burning buildings while everyone else ran out. I pulled people from car wrecks, cut them out of twisted metal, breathed life back into lungs that had already given up. I saved 127 lives. That's the official count. 127 people who are alive today because I was there. I have medals, commendations, newspaper clippings calling me a hero, families who still send Christmas cards, thanking me for giving them more time with someone they love. But I couldn't save my daughter. Her name was Emily. She would be 35 now if she were alive. She died 7 years ago from an overdose, fentanyl-laced heroin in a gas station bathroom. They found her alone. The needle was still in her arm. I wasn't there when she needed me most, and that failure lives with me every single day. Emily was sensitive, emotional. She felt everything deeply: joy, sadness, fear. Everything hit her harder than most people. When she was 13, the anxiety started. Panic attacks, withdrawal. Karen wanted therapy. I said no. I told myself she was just being a teenager, that she needed to toughen up. That strength fixed everything, because that's how I'd survived my career. At 15, Karen found marijuana in Emily's room. I exploded. I screamed. I punished her. I treated it like a fire. Aggressive, decisive, over. At 16, it was pills. Xanax. A counselor said Emily was self-medicating anxiety and depression and recommended long-term therapy. I refused medication. I said she didn't need pills. I said she needed discipline. I was wrong, completely wrong. Emily went to college at 18. She lasted 1 semester. She came home saying she couldn't cope, that she needed help. I told her she was quitting, that she was letting fear win. We fought. She told me I didn't understand her. I told her she was weak. She moved out that night, and she never really came back. The next 10 years were a slow collapse. Painkillers, then heroin. 4 rehab attempts. She called me from treatment centers, asking me to visit. I went once. I walked in, looked around, and felt disgust. Not at the people there, but at her for needing to be there. She asked me if I was proud of her. I told her I'd be proud when she stayed clean. She relapsed 3 weeks later. I buried myself in work, extra shifts, dangerous calls, because at work, I knew exactly how to save people. At home, I felt powerless, and I hated that feeling. The last time I saw Emily, she came to the house. She looked like a ghost, 90 pounds, hollow eyes, track marks. She didn't even bother to hide. She said, "Dad, I need help. I'm dying." And I told her to just stop using. She cried, she begged, she told me she needed treatment and support. She told me she needed her father. She stood in front of me and asked for help. And I told her to save herself. She looked at me and said, "You save everyone else. You run into burning buildings for strangers, but you won't fight for me." And I said the cruelest thing I've ever said in my life. I told her those people wanted to live, and that she was choosing to die. She nodded quietly. She said, "Okay, I understand now. I'm not worth saving." And then she walked away. That was the last time I saw my daughter alive. 3 weeks later, my daughter was dead. 6 hours passed before anyone even noticed. I didn't cry at the funeral. I went back to work early. I saved more people, 8 more in 1 year. Every thank you felt like a knife. I started drinking. Karen begged me to talk. I shut down. Eventually, we separated. When I retired, they gave me a plaque. 127 lives saved. It's still sitting in a box in my garage. 2 years ago, I saw a kid outside a grocery store. High, alone. People walked past him like he didn't exist. I almost did too. But then I saw Emily. I sat down next to him. I told him my daughter died of an overdose. I told her to save herself. His name was Marcus. I told him something I never told my daughter, that he wasn't weak, that he was sick, that addiction is a disease, not a moral failure. I showed up, again and again, without judgment, without ultimatums. Marcus is 18 months sober now. I used to think being a hero meant running toward danger, fire, smoke, chaos. That's what I trained for. That's what I was praised for. But addiction doesn't look like a burning building. It looks like someone you love standing in front of you, asking for help, and you telling them to be stronger. I saved 127 lives because I knew exactly what to do. I failed Emily because I didn't. I thought love meant pushing her to fight harder. I thought discipline would fix what compassion scared me to face. But addiction isn't weakness, and recovery isn't willpower. It's showing up when nothing changes. It's staying when they relapse. It's believing they're worth saving, even when they don't believe it themselves. When Emily walked away from me, she didn't die that day. She died the moment I decided she had to save herself. If you're watching this and you love someone who's struggling, a child, a sibling, a friend, don't wait. Don't wait for rock bottom. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for them to save themselves. Because some people don't need a hero. They need someone who stays. I couldn't save my daughter, but maybe her story can save someone else. And if it does, then she didn't die alone.